Yeah. Some backpack raps. Turn it up. Hey yo, life's a bitch and then you die, yeah we knew that, but screw that. I'll toast to the future, not where the crew at. It's FTB until I'm 6 feet deep. Yeah, we done started a movement, a leader, never been a sheep. So I don't follow the crowd, I'm trying to make my own lane. Lost a lot in this life, but I still got more to gain. Never take for granted the fans who've been waiting for the day I blow like Nagasaki on everyone, ignoring the name. Verses pour from my mind like that Kentucky bourbon. But I was born in the shy, my mentality's urban. Never was sure about my purpose, but I know one thing's for certain. I came here to fuck up the game till I'm wanted for. Gotta be honest though, I know I got talent and I'm driven to make my vision come to fruition. No indecision, achieved a lot in life that some said I wouldn't. So what's the difference when it comes to this rap shit they saying I couldn't? Bound to fail, I ask them why. Cause I'm white in my 30s, I got a family and work a normal fucking job. You must be kidding, man, that fuels the fire. And I'm prepared as I get bigger for haters to put me through the wire. But I won't let it bring me down, I got that tunnel vision. Like a horse in a derby, I'm just focused on winning. Passing up my peers, no wonder why I'm always grinning. But when it comes to my enemies, my trigger finger itching. Don't like the negativity, I'm only moving up. So if you ain't with me on the grind, then how can you say I don't do enough? Soon enough, they all go see I proved enough and rock with it. All from the bottom, there ain't no stopping it. Music's my passion and I made a promise to always crush whatever the fuck was in front of me. So let's be honest, do I? Hell yeah, they know the flow dumb. And one thing's for certain, if you don't chase your dream, it won't come. But you can't ever chase your dream if you don't run. So I'm gunning for the tip top, homie, and then some. Make it a habit of smashing raps in my backpack like snack packs. I got my cat backwards, listening to Mac Miller. Got some Nikes on my feet, running them laps around my peers, but they too proud and cocky to admit defeat. But I ain't taking prisoners, they on my plate. It's time to eat, it's time to show them what I'm about. Cause then they'll want a fucking feature, what a piece. That's cool though, I really can't blame them. They'd rather do a track with your boy, cause they won't be getting nowhere if they hate them. But in the end, I love this hip hop shit. So I'm gone, got a plane to catch. Kick rocks, bitch.
Welcome to HomeFront Sitrep. I hope you're in for a great show today, because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront Sitrep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting. Welcome everybody to a Monday edition of HomeFront Sitrep. How is everybody doing? Mr. Deeds, how are you, sir?
I am doing amazing. Got a couple. I said got a couple weeks off. I'm home, but I'm not home. This Saturday we take off to Purdue. Weather pending, Mother Nature pending. So pray for good weather there. And then next week I've got some PR stuff for the Mogadishu Mile, and then roll right into the University of Cincinnati for a jump. So glad to be home for a little bit, home-ish, home adjacent, if you will. Spend some time with the family, and just be able to come on here and be your co-host for a while.
No, I appreciate it, brother. I love having you on here. Miss Candace just recently got married, so she's taken a few days off to recuperate from planning a wedding and then getting married. So she's taking some time off, and she might peep in tonight. Who knows? And then
it's her week, so
Yeah, definitely. Welcome to the show, Mr. Aaron Lynch, and he says he's a firefighter. Awesome. So yeah, tonight we got Ultimate Veterans Adventures. I think I said that right. Yeah, Ultimate Veterans Adventures on tonight with Mr. Joe Westner, who's the founder. Um, so we're going to get him up on the stage here soon. Update on me. I still have a new knee as of last Tuesday. So if you didn't catch that episode last night, but so I am in some pain. But if you ask me how I'm doing, I'm going to tell you I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. I'm living the dream. I'm going to tell you that even though I'm tore up inside, because that's what we do. But if you ask that next hard question, I might spill it all to you. I might spill all those beans to you. But no, I had PT today. We did get my knee bent to 75%, which is friggin' phenomenal.
Yeah.
They wanted to, I think, 100 something, 120, 130, something like that. I think 120, I think, is where they kind of wanted it. So we'll get there slowly but surely. Hopefully my wife don't kill me in the process. James Thornton, what's up, sir? And he says it's 120 because he just had a knee replacement done a month before I did. So we're kind of in the same boat. And then Aaron says, I put on an annual light show that honors all heroes, including veterans in Shiloh, Arizona, called Magic on the Mountain. You know what? We'll probably have to get in touch with you, Mr. Aaron Leach. Page's Heroes Christmas Tribute. All right, so yeah, Sam will have to reach out to Mr. Aaron Leach and check out what he does out there. So, and then possibly have him up on the show. No, we got a great episode tonight with Joe from Ultimate Veterans Adventure. I'm super excited because if you go to their website, which I will copy and paste down below in chat.
Yeah, they're doing some pretty amazing things, and it's not just a centrally located organization. They're up in like Mansfield, Ohio, Ashland, Ohio area that they, live or they operate out of, but they're doing stuff all over. I mean, I saw that they did a bear hunt up in Maine. They did some duck hunt up in Wisconsin. They did some Michigan stuff, and they do stuff in Ohio. And then it's not just, hunting. They do some other stuff too. So I'm excited to learn and hear what Joe has to say and learn more about Ultimate Veteran Adventure.
So the link is in chat right now. It's up on the screen right now. Don't want you to take away from the podcast, but the link is there so you can click on it and check it out. Start Thanksgiving weekend. We'll run until January 1st. Heck yeah, we'll have to definitely check that out. Definitely, because I'd love to see what you're doing and which veterans and first responders, if you're doing them like individually or if you're doing it as a whole. So we'll definitely have to dive into what you guys are doing there, Aaron, for sure. Thank you for coming on. If you want to send me an email at homefrontsitrep@gmail.com. That way I don't forget, because I do have an undocumented TBI that I'm working on. So I do sometimes have brain farts. But yes, shoot me an email if you don't mind. So let's bring Mr. Joe up on the stage. Sam, what do you think?
Absolutely.
Let's put him in the middle. Welcome to the show, Joe. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate it. How are you guys?
We're doing okay, which we kind of talked a little bit beforehand, but
on the right side of the
right. Yeah. So if you don't mind, Joe, introduce yourself to all of our listeners and watchers out there, if you don't mind.
Good. I apologize, Mike.
There's some interference or some lag. I think he's frozen right now.
Something's going on there. He's got internet is acting wonky on him. Are you back, Mr. Joe? I definitely think your Wi-Fi is going wonky. It might be easier if he does it from his phone. I don't know if
Maybe,
he's done
yeah,
it from.
maybe if he logs on through his phone and just does it through that way. Cause I know,
Yeah, he just.
like here in my house, everything's on the Wi-Fi. You know, the computer, the boys' PlayStation, my bed, the garage door, the thermostat. I mean, pretty much this whole house is ran off Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So we got
And it may be
some.
the same there where he is too.
It could be. So I just saw Mr. Eric Dominiani. He's watching with Fior Scotch, first African American first veteran owned Scotch company in America. So Mr. Eric, thank you for jumping in here, and then Jonathan Cisco with. I don't know if he's still with VA Rep, but he was part of VA Rep at one time. So welcome to the show, Jonathan Cisco. Mr. Joe Westner is going to try to log back in from his phone. So we're going to see. But anyway, yeah, I'm super excited with what Ultimate Veteran Adventures or Ultimate Veteran Adventures does. Their mission. Our mission is to honor the service and sacrifices of honorably discharged veterans, currently serving personnel, Gold Star families, and first responders by providing them with life changing, all expenses paid hunting and fishing trips across the country. Through the healing power of the great outdoors, we aim to create inspiration, foster camaraderie, and empower our participants to find solace, purpose, and personal growth in the beauty of nature. And you know, here's some of the programs that they offer. They offer hunting and fishing trips throughout the country. In addition to that, we also offer knife forging classes, pin making classes, family whitewater rafting trips, as well as a Delta Waterfowl banquet, uh, Ducks Unlimited Banquet, and Whitetail Unlimited Banquet. Let's see. Mr. Joe is back. Let's see if that
All right,
works
let's
better
try
for you,
this.
Joe.
Yeah, let's try this.
So do me a favor. Tell us a little bit about you, your backstory, my friend.
Oh man, so I joined the military 2001, actually May 31st of '01. Still peacetime, nothing happening. And 9/11 happened while I was in basic, and that changed everything, I guess, if you will. Um, I got blown up in 2010, one too many times, and got medically retired. So um, after I got hurt, they said I'd be lucky if I walked again, or not walked again, but walked right again and did normal stuff. So um, being an outdoorsman, that was a blow, I guess, if you will. And you know, I loved the outdoors and loved hunting and fishing, so I use that um, as my my therapy and my drive to continue on. But yeah, I did just under 14 years in the military, medically retired, infantryman, and all that. So
Roger that. So was that something that you thought about doing as you were, getting out of high school, or is it something that you knew you were going to do at a very young age uh, by going into the military? Or is that something you decided to do later on?
So ever since I can remember, I wanted to be in the military. My grandfather was World War II vet, and he used to tell me all the fun stories about the Army, and never told me the combat stuff, you know. So um, it was all his fun times and the fun things he did while he was in, and um, it was just something I always wanted to do. So I grew up in the '80s and early '90s, and it was GI Joe and Rambo and all that stuff. So of course that had a drive to it, and I mean, I didn't join until I was 21. I did college first, and um, it's just something I always wanted to do. And I just thought, well, let's just do it. Why not?
Nice. So I'm assuming you were 11 Bravo in the Army.
I was, yes.
Nice, nice. Yeah, Mr. James Thornton was also 11 Bravo. He was with the 10th Mountain during Somalia during Operation Gothic
Okay.
Serpent.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm also 0311 infantry. Sam also 0311 infantry. So
Sure.
and I'm a lot like you, where I knew at a very young age that I was going into the military. I didn't know which branch, but I knew I was
Mhm.
going to go into the military. And as I got older and wiser, I was like, well, I'm gonna join the Marine Corps.
Right.
I had to throw that out there just
I did it for the
because.
uniform.
It's all right. No one's
Uh,
perfect.
right, right.
Yeah, right. If you were,
Uh,
you'd all be Marines.
Fair
yeah,
enough.
that's right. But no, yeah. So like I said, I knew at a very early age I was going in the military. My whole family, my dad, my uncles, we're all Army guys, and I was like, I'm gonna be something different.
Mhm.
So I was like, all right, I'm joining the Marines. Of course, I scored really high on my ASVAB, and my recruiter, he's like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I want to be infantry. I said, I want to be the best of the best. And he's like, okay. He didn't even argue with me. He's like, done, signed, sealed, and delivered. And
Yep.
no, I would absolutely do it again if my body would allow me to do it again. I
Same.
think once I get all my knee joints and my elbows and everything fixed, I might say, hey, take me back. I'll be the bionic man. But
All right.
no, I'm 46 now, and if need be, my oath hasn't expired yet. So if needed be, I would put back on my uniform if I. It might
Yep.
have to be a little bit bigger, but
So
I
you'd
would
have to
put
go
it.
buy new.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But no, I'm super excited to learn about your organization. Now, when you got out of the military, uh, did you get involved with other service organizations first? Um, and how did that lead into you starting your own veteran service organization?
Yeah, so I did a couple things with other organizations right off the bat. I was still in the WTU, the Warrior Transition Unit, and I just it was a bad spot. I didn't want to be there. I was fighting to get out or to stay in the military, not get out, but get out of the WTU. I wanted to stay in. I wanted to keep deploying, doing my thing, and but I was hurt bad, and I couldn't do much. So um, I did a couple fishing trips with a couple organizations that um, they were decent, but it got me out, and it got me thinking like I can still do this. Um, so I did a few hunts then, just easy hunts that, I could just go and sit there in a duck blind. Um, and as I healed and progressed in my rehab and whatnot. Um, but yeah, I was on a bad hunt actually with a very bad organization. And I was like, this isn't good. This is not good for the vets. This isn't good for, it's all about them is what that was
Yeah,
for. And I was like, you know what, we need to do something better. And I had been on a few bad ones like that, and I started to see a progression where there's a lot of organizations out there that are in it for themselves and how much money they can make and what they're going to do with it for themselves.
yeah,
And to me, and they wanted to parade the vets around, and I didn't like that. I'm not a fan of being paraded around. I did what I did, and that was it. Um, so I was actually sitting in a stand, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know the first thing about nonprofits. I don't know the first thing about fundraising. None of this stuff. I know how to hunt. I know how to fish, and I know how to be around vets. Um, and that's what I wanted to do. That's what my passion was. So just sitting there that day in a tree stand, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make my own organization, and I don't know what I'm going to do. So I was sitting there, and I created a Facebook page, and that was where we started. Um, and this was 8 years ago, roughly. Um, got home and just started Google searching how to start a nonprofit. And next thing you know, here we are 8 years later. We're growing every year. This is probably our biggest year. Last year I thought was our biggest year. I didn't think we'd do any better. Now we're about to double that almost this year.
That's awesome.
Again, I have no idea how to fundraise. We're still figuring it out, but it comes somehow. We get it. Just to give you a quick background on it. Last year, 2020, it's 24. Yes, 2023. We took out 189 veterans on different trips, 44 events we did. We did that on a $20,000 budget. So
Wow.
we don't have a lot, but everything that we bring in goes right back out. We don't get a penny out of what we do. To me, that's not what it's for. So
Yeah.
this year we're already at right around 50 events this year already. And we're just starting November. So our hunting season's just really starting right now. And we're already at roughly 50 events with everything we've done. So, I mean, our budget's right around 20 still. So we're just plugging along.
Yeah, sometimes it don't take a lot of money to run a successful organization, especially
Mhm.
when you're throwing, when you're doing hunting or fishing, and you're taking veterans out in
Mhm.
nature. Me and Sam were talking about it last night. His therapy is fishing. My
Yep.
therapy is sitting out in the woods watching Mother Nature wake up. And
Yep.
a lot of times you don't need a lot of money for that. Now, granted, if you bring in veterans in from out of state, you need a place for them to stay.
Mhm.
If they're out of state, you need to get a waiver for the hunting license, because most states offer waivers for the hunting license for the weekend, especially if it's
Mhm.
a veteran coming in from out of state for an event or whatever. Not so. And I love the fact that you say we, you don't say I,
Mhm.
because it's not about you. It's
Not at all.
not about it's about your whole board and what your whole board is accomplishing for these veterans. And unfortunately, there are a shit ton of veteran service organizations out there that it's the I mentality. It's
Mhm.
I, and a lot of times it's the founder of the organization that is the narcissistic one, and it's all about them and boosting their
Yep.
public profile, and what people can do to help them boost, because they're
Yep.
the ones that want to be in front of the camera all the time. They
Yep.
get mad when they're not in front of the camera.
Yep.
And then, like you said, there's organizations out there that will parade veterans around like we're a tool in their tool
Mhm.
belt. And
Yep.
I'm like you as well. I'm not. I don't like that. Mr.
Yep.
Eric Dominiani, I have to make sure I say it that way, or I won't say it right. Says he loves hunting and cooking wild game. So Eric,
Yep.
Army veteran, chef. Now he is the owner, founder of Fior Scotch, which is the first veteran, first black-owned Scotch company in America.
Oh wow.
So go give Eric a check. Give Mr. Eric a check out. Um, were you? Oh, he was a
He's a
Marine.
Marine.
I'm sorry, Eric. I'm sorry,
Man,
brother. I'm
how you
sorry,
gonna
sir.
downgrade him like that?
I know, right? I have to go do some push-ups for that. I'll have to thrash myself, Eric. Uh, but yeah, go give Fior Scotch a check out. Amazing product. He's an amazing guy, and his story it'll blow you away as well. But no, I love, like I said, when you were talking about your organization, you were like
Yep.
because it is about the team.
Yep.
Because one person can't do it alone, and a lot of organizations out there, they don't want to work well with other organizations.
Yep.
So with that being said, you guys partner with other organizations to make things happen for veterans in your community, because
Yep.
you do knife forging,
Yep.
and the other programs that you guys do as well. I'm sure that those are partnered with other organizations, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do a bear hunt every other year up in Maine. That's in conjunction with another nonprofit called House in the Woods. We do a fishing trip with them every summer. That's in conjunction with them in New York. We work with, shoot, yeah,
Marine Corps
Movet,
vet.
Movet Outdoors. Sorry, Movet Outdoors are based out of Missouri. Phenomenal group. I know their founder Anthony Larson really well. We're very good friends. We send vets to them. They send vets to us. We do combined trips here and there when we are able to. There's a bunch of different organizations out there that we do work with, um, and a lot of it is. What I will say is a lot of the vets. That we take out want to give back and continue to serve and help our mission. So our knife forging course is actually a veteran that we took out on a trip, and we actually took him on a knife forging event in Lima, Ohio, with another forging nonprofit, uh, Warriors Way, I believe it's called, and he got hooked on knife forging. So he came back after the trip and came back home. He lives right around where I'm at, and he bought a shed, he bought a forge, he bought, I mean, everything, and set this place up to learn forging. And that's all he does now. He's trying out for his, I think it's his master forge license. Um, I don't know what the terms are, but
Yeah.
he's trying to get like his master forging or whatever it's called. And um, the guy,
You guys go from
bladesmith.
raw steel to the knife, or is it already formed and then you do the handle, the hilt, the
So
edge?
we do both. He does both for us. We'll do one with just some scrap metal laying around that he has, and the vet will completely bang it out and make their own design.
Nice.
But then we'll also do one where he has a design on a I don't know all the terms. I apologize, but on that piece of metal, and we'll cut it out. The vets will cut it out,
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah.
um, grind it down, and then heat it and pound it to make their blade or make their edge, and then they do the handle. So they'll do two
Nice.
knives on every class.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
that's
lot of
super
fun, and
cool.
that's all he does now. He's a Marine Corps veteran. Gunny his Gunny's Forge is one what he calls
Rah.
it. So
Gotta love those gunnies.
Oh, we lost
No,
him
we
there
just
for a
lost him.
second.
Yeah, he
He's
was
still
talking about
there.
House in the Woods. So House in the Woods is up there where I'm from, and Paul
sorry, my
House is the guy that runs it, and his son Aaron was an Army vet who was sorry, Joel. Joel was Army vet who was killed and
Joel.
wanted to be a Marine game warden / guide when he got out of the Army, and he ended up getting killed in, I can't remember if it was Iraq or Afghanistan, but
Iraq.
yeah, Paul and his wife started House in the Woods up in Lee, Maine. I mean, that's my old stomping grounds. It's, I don't know, 30 minutes from where I grew up.
So, Eric wants to know what the gunny's name is, last name.
Yarborough.
Yarborough.
Yep.
Gunny Yarborough. So yeah, so you guys don't only just focus on the outdoor aspect of hunting and fishing. You guys do other events as well, like we were just saying,
Yep.
which is super cool. And then you guys focus on the family aspect of it. You also focus on uh, Gold Star families as well and first
Hmm.
responders.
We
What
do.
made you decide when you started your organization to focus on first responders, focus on Gold Star families? Because a lot of organizations out there,
So
they don't.
yes, yeah. So when we first started, we didn't do first responders. My big thing was all veterans. I didn't care when, where, what you did. There's too many organizations out there that are Purple Heart only, GY or OIF only. That there's too many of those where the vet that didn't get to deploy, that's not fair to them. Like just because they didn't get to deploy doesn't, or they joined in, the 80s and did 5-6 years and nothing happened. That's not their fault. They still serve, they still, put their time out there and did it. They were willing to go, they just didn't have to go. So there's too many organizations out there that don't focus on those guys too. And they're too specific. So being a Purple Heart recipient, I got to go on a lot of events with a lot of different organizations. And I mean, yeah, it was great for me, but I didn't feel it was fair to everyone else at the same time. So we decided we're going to open it to all veterans, no matter what you did. And I lost a lot of good friends through the years, and I mean, they had families. So it was a no-brainer that we're going to do veterans and Gold Star families. I didn't care what anyone thought about it, and it wasn't fair to them that they lost someone, and now that's all right. So bad, too bad, So that was just our thought process on it. 2 years ago, I think it was, when we finally opened to first responders. We always wanted to, but just budgeting and we didn't have the means to do it really. And to me, for first responders, they're doing it every day. They're not getting the recognition that the vets do. So,
And there's no
why
programs
not?
or little to no programs.
Exactly. There's very little programs out there for them. So we wanted to include them as best we could. And it took a little bit. And honestly, one of our board members, his brother is a medically retired police officer out of Pennsylvania, and got ran over by a car while he was doing a stop. And it's not fair to him. Like, he's seeing us go on all these events and doing this stuff, and he's like, "Can I go one day? I need it." So we're like, "Yeah, we want to include you. We really do." He's yet to go on an event with us, but he was kind of the reason we started it, was that our one board member's brother. And we finally just made that decision. Let's just do it. I mean, it's not really going to affect us financially.
Right.
And if it does, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, there are a buttload of veterans that become your first responders, your
That too.
EMTs, and your police officers. And I love when I see organizations, they focus on veterans, first responders, Gold Star families, because a lot of times the Gold Star families, they are shunned within the veteran community, and I don't understand why they are shunned. Because
I think honestly, the veterans, right, especially those who lost their battle buddy or their teammates or their soldiers or their Marines or whatever, whatever branch you served in. I don't know if they know how to act and react around the Gold Star families, right? So I became really good friends with a Gold Star dad whose son I picked up at the School of Infantry after I left recruiting duty. And then I deployed him to Haiti. And then, we went to two separate companies, and then we deployed to Iraq. I got injured, got sent home. And then a month and a half later, he was killed. And so I knew the name, and we were at an event, and the dad came to our welcome home, greeted everybody that came back. We lost 8 guys during that deployment. And I was asked to speak on behalf of a national nonprofit. And the lady who I was there with, she's like, "I want to introduce you to somebody." And as soon as he turned around, I knew exactly who it was. I'm like, "Mr. Brzezinski, I know who you were. I served with your son." And, we've been friends ever since. And that was probably 2011, 2012 ish. And then a couple of years later, there's a lady here that lives in Northern Kentucky who I was her son's recruiter. She had to sign the paperwork, and I didn't know how I was going to be received by her or the family. And I didn't know how I was going to act around her or the family. we lost 25 guys in 2 deployments. And then,
Mm.
I have numerous other friends from post-traumatic stress, TBI, veteran suicide, or guys that I served with in a different command that went forward and then, lost their life. So I think a lot of it is a lot of us veterans don't know how to act around the Gold Star families. And we just need to act like ourselves, because that Gold Star family might see something in you that reminds them of their loved one. And they're going to
Right.
gravitate towards you, and they're going to, get new sons, new daughters, and their family is going to grow. And if they need somebody to talk to, they know that we understand the service and the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if somebody wanted to volunteer or donate, how would somebody go about doing that? How would they volunteer for Ultimate Veteran Adventures or donate to you?
So for volunteering, we try to have people that have gone on events with us in the past, so what's going on. What I'll say is I'm the only founding member of UVA that is still on the board. Our other board, I mean, I'm still there. They help out when they can. Life gets in the way, stuff like that. So they've stepped down for various reasons. They still help out. So it's not nothing bad. But all our board members now, minus myself, are all, and representatives, are all veterans that we've taken out on trips, and they came back to us and said, we want to continue to serve with you guys and help and do what we have to do. So for volunteering and helping out like that, we do want you to be on an event with us and kind of learn who we are, what we're about, how things work when we are on those events. Not just have someone, all right, I'm going to help you with a trip and do it. We appreciate that. Don't get me wrong. It's just, you need to know what our goal and our mission is,
Right.
and how we go doing that. So as far as as far as donating, just reach out. I mean, there's several ways. We have, it depends on what you want to donate. If cash, money, time, or not time, but gear for the vets that may not have it, we accept that. Land, property that we can hunt on and take vets onto. If you're a boat captain, on your boat, stuff like that, donating that kind of stuff, just reach out. Anything, just reach out to us. Website, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, just shoot us a message.
Do you not have donate tabs on your Facebook and on your webpage and everything, where you can just click? And is it a PayPal, or is it a mail-in system?
So we have it on our, I think it's through Give Butter, I think is what it's called. It's on our Facebook page. It should be on our Facebook page, and I know it's on our website. We don't have PayPal and we don't have Venmo anymore. They both shut us down. Someone put gun raffle in one of the payments, and they shut us down. I mean, you wouldn't, as quick as you could say shut down. They kept all the money that was in there too. So so we don't use them. We have Cash App, we have Give Butter, check, cash, anything like that.
Right.
Give
Those
a
will be
shout
one of
out
my
to-
questions. When you do your fishing trips, are most of your guides pretty receptive to, lending their time, their boat, their fuel, their rigs to take these guys and girls out?
Yeah, a lot of them, most of them are. Like our fishing trips, any of our trips really, we don't ask, like I won't just go up to a captain and be like, hey, you want to donate a trip to us?
Right.
And none of our guys do that either. None of our reps or board members do that either. They usually all come to us and say, hey, I've been watching what you're doing. We want to donate something. What I will say is, when we do ask about a trip, we never ask for them to do it for free. We always say, we tell them who we are, what we do, what we're trying to get out of it, and say, would you be willing to donate either your time and we'll pay for your gas. If you are willing to donate it, we'll pay for your gas minimum. Or, could you do like a half price or buy one, if it's a duck hunt, buy one, get one free kind of deal. We never ask for it fully donated. I don't feel right doing that. That's something.
Yeah. So it's the hand up instead of the hand out.
Yeah.
But we always
No,
offer to pay for a minimum fuel. Minimum, because that's
part of the main cost anyway when you're fishing, right?
Yeah.
Getting out to the hole, trolling around, getting back. I mean, that's, and depending on the size of the boat, that fuel bill gets expensive real quick.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely can.
For sure.
Yeah,
I run charters, so I get it,
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you might need some sponsors. So, like, let's say Eric with Fior Scotch wants to come on and be, a corporate sponsor. Do you have packages set up for corporate sponsors and stuff like that?
No, we want to. It's something I'm not good at, and I don't really know what I'm doing with it. We've mentioned it through the board, and none of our board members seem to know what we're doing either. Unfortunately, it's just not our thing. So as far as help with that kind of stuff, we're always looking. If you know how to go about that, let me know. We're always for it, and we're open to suggestions as well.
Awesome. So if you're out there and you are in the digital marketing and want to help a nonprofit with sponsorship packages and stuff like that, reach out to Mr. Joe. We'll throw your email out there here in just a minute, Joe. That way people can, I think it's also on the website. They can get in contact with you as well through the website.
It should be.
Because unfortunately, a lot of times when we as veterans, we start a nonprofit, that those things are outside of our wheelhouse, and it's a learning process as we go. And there are other people out there that will donate their time to help with a marketing campaign or sponsorship, campaign and stuff like that. So there are people out there. So we will definitely see if we can find somebody to lead them your way to help you, to figure out, to navigate that. Let's put that.
Sure.
Yeah, and it can be different. I mean, you got your federal mandates on a 501. You've got your state mandates too. I mean, and it varies from state to state.
Yeah, for sure.
On what you can do, what you can't do. Like here in Kentucky, if you're doing any type of raffle, you have to go register with the Kentucky Gaming Commission. There are certain ways that it has to be run. And there's a certain dollar amount that you can make that you get to keep all the money. And if you go over that dollar amount, a portion goes back to the state. Right? And then you fall into a different bracket as far as being exempt, or, I can't remember the level now. It's been 2 years since I've been through the course, but you're either exempt or you're whatever this next level is. And there's only certain things you can do as an exemption. And, like in Ohio, you can use the pick 3, the daily pick 3 or the pick 4 as your lotto numbers. It's not against the rules, but you just have to still post what the day's pick 3 or pick 4 was. And then you have to post at least, the initials or a first initial, last name, or however that works. I can't remember. Of how you're doing it. So, I mean, the rules and regulations are different depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
So learning that too is a huge learning curve.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Eric says that he may be able to direct you to someone who does nonprofit. He says voting. I don't know but he said give him an email, send him an email at eric@fiorscotch.com. So shoot Eric an email, Joe, and we'll see if we can get you some help in some departments that you might need help in.
Fishing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fishing. Yeah. So, I think it's meant fishing, boating. So So yeah, give Eric an email. Send Eric an email. He'll be able to
Sure.
help you out a little bit there, probably.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but
Appreciate that.
so you're welcome. Is there anything that we haven't hit on that you want to touch on? Simplify, Eric.
I don't think so.
What's
Okay.
the size of your board currently?
We have a 5-member board right now.
Okay.
All right, and then James Thornton just said a Warrior Rounds retreat tied into that may work. So Warrior Rounds is a nonprofit based out of Nashville, Tennessee, where they take veterans and pair them with Grammy Award winning uh, singer songwriters, and then they write a story about that veteran's life. Um, so we'll get you connected with James too,
Yeah.
and see how you and Warrior Rounds can work together, because James is here in Kentucky, not too far from me, and you're up in Ohio, so it's not
Yep.
not that far of a stretch.
No.
So we can definitely probably figure something out.
Yeah.
So we can definitely go that route. And if you got like a
Yeah.
big 24-foot um, trailer that you haul all your gear and stuff in, like James with Warrior Rounds, he's got the Warrior Rounds logo on his trailer, but he's also got sponsors that pay for their logo to be on his trailer as he's traveling around to all these different places. Might be another avenue to bring in some funding for you guys as well. So yeah, we will definitely figure that out, man. And I really do appreciate you coming on here and hanging out with us and telling us about Warrior's next event. Or I almost said gave you another name, Ultimate
Right.
Veterans Adventure, because there's
Yep.
Warrior's Next Adventure too with Nicholas Ron, he's a super cool cat.
Okay.
He might, you know what? He might be a good guy to. He's helped. Last time I talked to him, 28 different veterans start a nonprofit.
Oh, wow.
And he might be a guy that can give you some information on the marketing side and stuff like that. So I'll get you connected with Nick Ron as well. So I think that'd be a good
Okay.
connection as well. So
Yeah, for sure.
that's what we do here. That's what we do here at HomeFront
Yeah.
Sitrep. We make those connections. And then James says, what would someone do in order to participate in one of your programs? What would someone have to do to participate?
Yeah, so
Good question,
we
James.
post everything. We post everything on our Facebook and our. We just figured out how to do it on our website. So we post everything to those two places. So we ask you to follow that. Each event has a specific criteria on what to do. So going back, I said earlier where we accept all veterans as long as you served honorably. The caveat to that is there's a few guides who will tell us we're donating this trip and we only want this vet or a vet like that. So in order to have that trip donated, we have to abide by that. We're doing a hunt up in Michigan next week. It's only for female vets. So
Oh, nice.
Female veteran only, gold star only, stuff like that. It's very far and few between, but we do have them. So there are a few where it's specific veterans. So each event that we post, we put what the criteria is. 99.9% of the time, it's give us a DD 214 that shows honorable service, and that's
So you want
basically
their
it.
member 4 copy that
Member
shows
4
that.
copy. Yep.
Yep.
Yes, member 4 that shows honorable service. We don't accept a copy of your retired ID. We don't accept a VA letter. That stuff is not. You can get a VA letter, and it's not without an honorable service.
Right.
So we do ask for DD 214, blank out your social. I do not want your social security number. I blank that out. And send us that. So then what we do from there is we do random drawings But what we do is we try to, if you've been on an event before, your name is going to go on the bottom, because we want to get new vets out over returning vets,
Right.
as much as possible. We do have that list of vets that are on standby at all times where, hey, we had someone back out, or we can't fill a trip. We got a couple guys that are just, hey, whatever you need, I'll be there. But they don't apply to anything. They will not apply.
Yeah.
They just said, if you need me, let me know. We'll be there. So we always try to get new vets out over returning vets. If you're your first time applying, you have a higher chance than somebody that's been on different trips. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how we do it. And that's the fairest way we found. There are some events where we ask you to write a small essay, 1 to 2 paragraph, about what that trip would mean to you, why you feel like this would be something that we should select you for. And then we give it to a third party to read and select. We want nothing to do with it. Some of the real big hunts, some of the bigger, nicer events, that's the kind of stuff we do. I've had
No,
so many
I love
people want to try and be friends with me because they want to go on these trips, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not how it works, man. Like, sorry, we can be friends, but I'm not, just because we're friends isn't gonna mean I'm taking you to trips, so
right.
it's fair for me, and it's easier on me when I can say, hey, a third party's picking you. I have nothing to do with it, and I want nothing to do with it. So
No, I mean that makes sense, and I think me and
yeah.
Deeds kind of touched on repeat visitors when it
Hmm.
comes to certain nonprofits out there, because unfortunately there's a buttload of nonprofits out there, and I'm
Yep.
not meaning that in a negative way, but you have these serial um, uh, event hoppers that
Yep.
go to
Professional
every
veterans.
yeah, professional veterans. They go to all these
Yep.
different events, and a lot of times, there's other veterans out there that need it more than they do, but yet they
Yep.
still get selected somehow. So I like the fact that if somebody has recently been out on one of your events, they go to the bottom of the list. I
Yep.
think that's an awesome way of doing it, and I also like that you guys take it out of your hand on who gets selected.
Hmm.
That's awesome too. So, um, but no, man, I love what you guys are doing. I can't wait to get you connected with all these people that we're going to get you connected with, and see if we can help take your organization to another level,
Yeah.
to another level. Um, and I think you guys have gone about it the right way. You've grown really slow, and
Hmm.
now you're starting to pick up that steam, because, for one, if you grow overnight, like let's say you
Yeah.
go from 0 to 100 overnight, more than likely
Yeah.
that organization will fail. Um,
Yep.
and you guys have done it slow, word of mouth,
Yep.
and you're growing at a very slow pace, which is
Well,
amazing.
and it's true
Uh,
grassroots too, right?
yeah,
So
Yeah.
started with an idea from Joe and the other people he had involved early on, and obviously life happens, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Things happen, and you have to slow down sometimes, whether it's for you, whether it's for your family, and sometimes people step away, but they don't leave, right? They step
yeah,
Yep.
down and don't leave, and it's good to have turnover sometimes because you get those fresh ideas
Hmm.
coming in, and or
Yep.
you get guys that are coming in from another nonprofit, and they're
Hmm.
bringing ideas from that nonprofit in too. So I mean, there's always room for growth, right, within every organization, and having partnerships with other organizations, right? Because everybody seems to think the pot of gold is this big, right?
Yep.
And there's plenty out there to be shared,
Yeah.
especially when your mission is not the same.
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Absolutely. And we say all the time, we'll work with any organization out there for the most part. For the most part. But there's way too many out there that when we approach them and like, hey, do you want to do something combined? They're like, well, no, we want our name on this. We want this, we want that. Like, then you're in it for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
We should be doing this together because your goal and my goal is to help vets. Period. I don't that's what it should be. And if you're in it to make money, and if you're in it to get your name out there, and in it for whatever else, then you're in it for the wrong reason. And I don't want
And
to work
there's
with you.
there's nothing wrong with having both names
on
the event at all.
No.
You know, there's another organization up in Ohio that a Kentucky organization used to come into, and both names were always part of it. You know, and there's nothing wrong with it at all.
No, not at all. Not one bit.
We are a team. There's no I in there. And,
I mean, there is, and it's in the a-hole, but that's another discussion.
Well, so a story. We were doing a tiny home community for homeless veterans, and a VFW post was hosting an event to raise money for the tiny home community. Well, said founder of my organization that I was with got really upset because his logo was small on the paper, and then when we were there the day of the event, the news media didn't come to talk to him. They came to talk to the people who was putting on the event. Well, that's kind of right when I knew. I was like, all right, it's time for me to bow out of this, because it wasn't about the veterans. It was about him. And I was like, so yeah, unfortunately there are those organizations where they don't really care about anything but themselves and boosting their public profile. And I know we touched on it earlier. If you don't want to work together to help in the problems that veterans face, then you need to get out of the space and let somebody who actually cares in that space.
Or you have organizations that are about the people, and they have people that are trained with media, and that person always gets stuck in front of a camera. Right. So it gives that perception that, hey, Sam Deeds is always in front of the camera. It's all about him. Well, no, I'm being told I have to be in front of the camera. So if you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, don't do this.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it's both things, but you can tell who's there for themselves, or who's there for the overall good and the purpose of their mission.
Agreed. Agreed. Well, Mr. Joe, it's been our pleasure having you on here. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to wind up doing next with Ultimate Veteran Adventures. And I can't wait to watch you grow, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate being on. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, you're welcome. And if you ever want to come back on because you got a big event coming on or anything, shoot me an email. Say, hey, we got this going on. And if you need help promoting events and stuff like that, shoot me a message. And even if you come on and talk 5-10 minutes about the event that you got coming on, you're more than welcome to do that. I'd gladly have you on, say a Sunday night to talk about an event that you got coming up on Thursday or whatever. So reach out to me anytime. I'll help promote you as much as I can. So
awesome, man.
It's our pleasure. Hey, you're welcome, my friend. Well, you have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Later. How cool was that, Mr. Sam?
Man, he's got some good stuff going on, man, and you can tell he's in there for the right reasons, and you know he's doing right by the program. He's doing right by the people he's serving.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know, when I first talked to him, I got that feeling from him early on when we first did our meet and greet, and then just looking over the website and stuff like that. It's just like, yeah, these guys seem like they are focused on the right reasons. And you know me, when it comes to veteran service organizations, I do my deep dive. I go in, look at 990s, and I look at everything that I can look at to make sure that the organization is being as transparent as possible.
Yeah, everything that you have public access to.
Yeah, anything that I have public access to. Yeah, I don't do anything illegal to get the information, but anything that I can access via the internet, just to make sure that said organization is what they say they are. And then like this Aaron Leach guy, I'm going to check out his organization, see what they're all about. I'll reach back out to, via his email. But Joe, don't forget to give Eric an email. So you'll probably get his email address from the comment section, but get his email and reach out to him, see how he can help you. And then I'll get you connected with Warriors Next Adventure. Who else did I say?
James Thornton.
Yeah, James Thornton from Warrior Rounds. And then there's a few others, because like Rocco at Camp Hero, Kentucky, I think would be a great partnership for him. Because Rocco's got that 160 acres plus the 3,000 that he leases here in Kentucky at the Daniel Boone National Forest.
Yeah.
I think that their two organizations do a joint thing. I think that would be pretty cool. So yeah, we'll figure it out. But Sam, I hate to cut it a little earlier than normal, but my knee is on fire.
No, you got to take care of you, man. And then, at the end of the day, we talked about it yesterday. Sometimes you just got to take that time for you, and especially coming out of surgery, almost a week removed. You got to take that time, and pain management it is a bear sometimes. And
yeah, hopefully I'll be able to go down to the basement next week and be a little bit more comfortable in my my chair that I have down there. And plus it's a little bit colder down there than it is up here. But no, man, I appreciate you jumping on.
Here's what you do. You take a cardboard box and you cut it lengthwise, right?
Yeah.
And then you take a pillow and you put it under your leg. And then you fold the cardboard box up over the pillow and your leg, and then up over your foot. So your so your stuff has a little sled, and you just, like you were when you were 2, scooting down the stairs on your butt. And then you just hobble over to your chair, and then coming back up. It's just the reverse, one step at a time, man. Get those dips in. You don't have that far to. You don't have that far to travel anyway, so you have nothing to worry about.
No, I don't. And, it's only, I think, 20 something steps to get down to the basement. I think going up and down the steps would be the easy part. I think the hard part is being comfortable sitting in the chair, because like this chair that I'm sitting in right now, it's a little bit higher and I'm trying to get comfortable, and there's no cushion on this thing. So I put a pillow underneath my ass, and it just ain't very comfortable. I should have just stayed on the couch, but I figured I'd change it up and see how.
Yeah, but you worked. just grab Julie's pillow or pillows, take them down with you. Or get an ottoman and proper pillows up underneath your stank ass feet, and
There you go.
She's gonna kill me.
Probably. She's like, Sam, and she's close to you right now. She's in Lexington right now.
She's still an hour plus away, so I'm good.
But anyway, my friend, I'm going to go ahead and end this up. And hang out. And then Wednesday, we got our tip of the spear. So make sure you guys tune into that. Wherever you watch the tip of the spear at, whether it's on HomeFront Sitrep, Triple Threat Bets, Oath We Took, wherever you watch it, make sure you tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's going to be a fun one. So like we always say out there, at HomeFront Sitrep, stay safe out there, and we got your 6. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget, you can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your 6.